Hello, Shatling. What is it with autistic people and cats? Huh? This is a question that has been bouncing around my noodle for quite some time now. I've been thinking about it a lot in the past, I want to say couple weeks. And not only have I noticed a pattern in interacting with those in my Discord server, okay, those who are autistic, I have also noticed a pattern within my own behavior. Okay, as an autistic person, I resonate with cats a lot. So let me describe to you what I've seen in myself, okay? I really like cats right off the bat. I like them. They're cool, they're cute, they're adorable, I love them, I want to pet them, I adore them, okay? But aside from that, I'm a cat girl, right? I really resonate with the cat girl lifestyle, okay? On top of that, I use meowing and sending cat images and sending cat gifs as a form of communication. If I'm interacting with somebody, let's say in DMs, and I want to express some sort of emotion, most of the time I'll just use a cat gif. I won't even say, I'm happy, or I'm excited. I'll send a cat jumping up and down. Or if I'm feeling sad, I'm not going to say I'm sad. I'm not going to send some basic ass sad emoji. I'm sending a gif of a cat crying. So I love integrating cats into my form of communication, into the way that I communicate with other human beings. Now, not only this, I have witnessed the same behavior in my server that is full of autistic people. I have witnessed people having full-on roleplay sessions with each other, engaging in cat speak, meowing back and forth, displaying cat-like behaviors, okay? And I feel like this isn't just a coincidence. I feel like there is some sort of connection between autistic people and cats. One thing that I've heard a lot is that cats are autistic, and that's why autistic people relate to them so much. But what does that statement actually mean? Because cats aren't meeting all of the DSM-5 criteria for autism. So what does the statement cats are autistic really mean? So let me just shoot the shit for a second and try and make an educated guess as to why people say that. One thing that I notice is similarity in behavior between cats and autistic people. I notice that cats are very selective about who they allow to show them affection, about who they allow to come into contact with them, to interact with them, just like how autistic people are often selective about who they allow to be affectionate with them, who they allow to interact with them. And maybe an autistic person wouldn't straight up stand up and walk away like a cat would. Let's say you go and pet a cat and the cat doesn't like you and it just leaves. An autistic person might not do that, however, they probably want to. And sometimes maybe the only thing stopping that autistic person from acting like a cat, getting up, walking away, is societal rules, is politeness, right? So I think both autistic people and cats are very selective about who they allow in their circle, okay? Now, not only that, they also have somewhat predictable behavior. And I think the fact that their behavior follows a sort of pattern really resonates with autistic people, because autistic people also thrive off of structure and predictability. For example, this really manifests in the cat roleplays / conversations that I see. If you're happy, you're probably going to meow happily. If you are upset, you might hiss. If you want affection, you might curl up next to someone, just like a cat would. These behaviors are very predictable. They're very comforting to somebody who craves that predictability, at least to me. This is speaking mostly from my own perspective, by the way. So please, feel free to share with me if you resonate with any of this, or if you see anything that you disagree with. Please do. Because this is basically me journaling. This is basically me sharing the thoughts that are in here. Also, like I explained in a previous video, communicating like a cat is especially attractive as a form of communication to those with autism, I think because it's so simple and because the social rules are so straightforward. Again, I already explained this in a previous video where I described the connection between cat girls and autism, but I think the simplicity of meowing to someone and having them meow back is very appealing to autistic people, because a meow is just a social token. It's just like a wave or a smile. It serves the same purpose. It signifies happiness or a greeting. So my question is, why haven't we as a society adopted meowing as an acceptable, typical, normal social interaction? Just like how you wave to someone or how you smile at someone, why don't we meow? Because when you think about it, it serves the same purpose. Smiling signals that you're happy, right? It's the little social token that says, I am happy, I'm smiling and directing that happiness at you. Meowing can do the same thing. So my theory is maybe with time, we could integrate this into society. And maybe in the distant future at some point, we could be at the grocery store getting our food, and instead of saying, thank you, have a nice day, and all the regular bullshit where you have to interact and do the small talk and say the right thing and not be awkward, you could just meow. How awesome would that be, bro? Like, of course, free will is a thing, and you can do that now, but what if one day society could accept meowing as something that is normal and productive, and have it be not weird to engage in public? Because right now, chances are, if you were to go up to someone, just a stranger, and start meowing to them, I bet you that would be interpreted as weird. But why? My question is why? Because like I explained before, meowing is extremely similar to smiling or to waving. It's a social token. It expresses your thoughts in a way that is not verbal. And that's also another reason why I think it's really appealing to autistic people, because it's not verbal. And autistic people sometimes struggle with communicating their thoughts verbally, forming the words, finding the right words to say. Whereas meowing allows you to express emotion without having to find those words, because that does take energy. And depending on how burnt out you are, depending on how overstimulated you are, that might be more energy than you want to use. So instead of saying, wow, I'm so glad you did that, I'm so happy right now and appreciative, thank you, you could just meow, and it would say all that. All those words I just said, condensed down to one sound that still carries the same sentiment. I think that's part of the reason why it is so appealing to autistic people to meow. I've never owned a cat, so I can't comment very confidently on their behavior. However, if I recall correctly, don't they thrive oftentimes in having their own personal space, in not being bothered? I know that cats can have different personalities. However, I have witnessed this stereotype that cats are very like, don't touch me. I don't want anyone to touch me, except if I'm in a really specific mood, then I'll let this one person touch me. And they're very selective about that. I think that really resonates with autistic people and how they may feel about affection. So to just tie it all together, it's the communication style, it is the selectiveness with affection, you know, the willingness to be around other people, the liking of other people. And I think those two things just align so perfectly between autistic people and cats, and that might be why autistic people are so drawn to cats. Also because they're cute. Thanks for listening to me yap, twin. I hope you have a good day, okay? And I hope you take care of yourself. Meow today. Meow. Meow and don't be ashamed. And also follow my Twitch, okay? Okay. Bye, twin. Mwah.